Rocky 1976 is a film that changed cinema forever, and not just because of its underdog story. It's a classic tale of perseverance, grit, and heart, and we all know the iconic scenes, quotes, and music. But did you know that there are some seriously weird and fascinating facts about how this legendary movie came to life? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into strange and unexpected details about Rocky that will leave you surprised. Let's start. Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky in just 3 days. It's hard to believe, but Sylvester Stallone wrote the script for Rocky in just 3 days. He had no idea the film would become such a phenomenon. Stallone was broke at the time and needed a big break. He wrote the script inspired by a random boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner, which was called the Beyond Bleeder. With very little money, Stallone wrote a powerful story in one sitting and believed that this was his ticket to a career in Hollywood. The rest is history. Stallone was insistent on playing Rocky. Here's an interesting tidbit. When Stallone wrote Rocky, he didn't just want to sell the script. He was adamant about playing the lead role of Rocky Balboa. Hollywood producers were initially hesitant after all. Stallone was an unknown actor at the time. They wanted bigger stars like Robert Redford or Ryan O'Neal. But Stallone refused to sell the script unless he could play Rocky. Eventually, the producers agreed, and it turned out to be a brilliant decision, as his portrayal of Rocky became legendary. The famous training montage was almost cut. One of the most iconic scenes in Rocky is the training montage where Rocky runs through the streets of Philadelphia, does push-ups, and finally climbs the famous steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. But did you know that this scene was almost cut from the film? The producers thought it was too long and unnecessary. However, Stallone fought to keep it, and it ended up becoming one of the most memorable moments in movie history. That soundtrack? Totally iconic. The famous steps scene was filmed for only $200. The legendary scene where Rocky runs up the Philadelphia Museum of Art steps was filmed on a shoestring budget. The total cost of the entire sequence was just $200. Why? Because the production didn't have the funds for permits, so they filmed the scene guerrilla style. Stallone ran up the steps over and over again, and each time the filmmakers captured the magic. Little did they know that this would become one of the most famous images in cinematic history. Carl Weathers was not the first choice for Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers, who played the role of Apollo Creed, the world champion and Rocky's opponent, wasn't the first choice for the part. In fact, the role was originally offered to other actors, including Muhammad Ali himself, who turned it down. Eventually, Carl Weathers landed the role, and his portrayal of Apollo turned out to be a perfect match, an inspiring antagonist who pushes Rocky to his limits. The budget was so tight that they used real locations. The production of Rocky had a budget of just $1 million, a fraction of what films of this scale typically cost. Because of this, the filmmakers had to get creative with their shooting locations. For instance, the famous scene where Rocky trains by running through the streets of Philly, that was real. They didn't use a fancy studio. They filmed on the actual streets. The gritty, raw feel of the movie came from this authentic approach, which helped give the film its heart and soul. The Rocky theme was composed on a 50 keyboard. The iconic Rocky theme song was composed by Bill Conti, who was given just a small budget to work with. Conti created the song using a 50 keyboard and a very limited amount of time to compose it. The result? One of the most famous movie themes of all time, capturing the spirit of the film with its powerful, uplifting melody. What makes it even cooler is that Conti wasn't a big-name composer at the time, and this track launched his career into the stratosphere. Stallone's real-life struggles influenced the story. Stallone's personal struggles influenced the story of Rocky. At the time of writing the script, he was struggling financially and couldn't get good roles. He had been rejected by numerous acting agencies and had even sold his dog for $50 just to survive. His underdog story is reflected in Rocky's journey. The film speaks to anyone who has ever faced adversity and kept pushing forward, making it relatable on a deeply personal level for Stallone and viewers alike. The final fight was shot in only 3 days. The climactic final fight between Rocky and Apollo was filmed in just 3 days. Due to time and budget constraints, the filmmakers had to make the most of every shot. The fight sequence was intense and physical, with Stallone and Carl Weathers taking many of the punches themselves. They trained together for weeks before filming and relied on their chemistry to create the intense, believable fight scene we see on screen. Rocky was not a surefire success. Despite all the hard work and the passion behind Rocky, the film wasn't an automatic success. Initially, many Hollywood insiders didn't believe in it. The movie was made on a shoestring budget with a relatively unknown cast, and the story of an underdog boxer seemed like a risk. However, Rocky defied the odds, becoming a massive hit. It went on to gross over $225 million worldwide and won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Sometimes, the greatest stories come from the most unexpected places. There you have it, weird and fascinating facts about Rocky that will have you looking at the film in a whole new light. From its tight budget and guerrilla-style filmmaking to the iconic moments that changed cinema, Rocky proved that with heart, grit, and a little creativity, anything is possible. If you enjoyed these facts, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories from the movies you love. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications on future videos. Thanks for watching, and keep fighting the good fight.